Hello, everyone. Welcome to London, which means that they've wheeled me out again, which means I'm back doing Picko's pitwalk, which is always the highlight of my weekend. It's where I have a ramble talking about all the teams and what we found out today on Friday, the eve of the London E-Prix, the last race of the year. There may not be a drivers' championship to play for, but we still got the teams and manufacturers to play with. So we'll start with Kira. We'll head all the way down to Jaguar, and we'll see what we found out. Now, starting with the aforementioned Cupra Kiro team, they've had a mega year, but this team have been horsing around a bit. I'm not sure if you've seen on social media, but they brought a horse to the circuit, which I think is a dreadful idea, because surely, like, if a wheel gun goes off, the horse is going to be spooked or something. But yeah, it's all about Cupra's initiative to change the term racing in the Oxford English Dictionary to include motor racing as well as horse racing. But yeah, Dan didn't really understand it either. He was in the press conference to say as well today. He is very excited about this weekend. He's back at home. He's a proper London lad as well, and he thinks that this is one of his favourite tracks of the calendar, and he can do really, really well on this circuit. And now he's got the car underneath him. He said that pole position isn't out of the realms of possibility. We'll have to see. On the other side of the garage, David Beckman, well, he needs a good weekend this weekend, because otherwise he will become just the second full-time driver in Formula E history to score 0 points over the course of the season. We'll head over to Mahindra next. This is the team that have come 10th in the last 2 seasons in Formula E, and so they're on for their best season yet. They're currently 6th, I think, in the championship. I did look this up upstairs, and I should have made notes of it. But yeah, Nick De Vries is back after missing Berlin. He was very impressed with what Felipe Drugovich did in the car that weekend. And you may have seen Racing News 365 have published an exclusive saying that Zandvoort is being considered for Gen 4 once it drops off the Formula 1 calendar next year. And Nick De Vries is very excited about that. So yeah, we will have to see about that. But yeah, they are technically in the fight for 5th. I think they can mathematically get 3rd, but I think that's a little bit sort of out the question now. We will keep on moving down to Lola Yamaha, and this is where you might have seen on socials someone was having a chess match here yesterday. Lucas Di Grassi was one of the players, and the other one was our very own Jack John Maynard. That's for a feature that's coming up in a couple weeks' time, I believe. We just need to get that edited and sent out and everything. But yeah, Lucas, you can see the car on Jack's there. Not a great day for him. Caused both red flags in free practice 1, and it was the same incident. He went over the bump down at turn 16, and that caused the car to sort of shut off, and like it had been involved in a crash. So it's up on the jacks now. They're sorting it, and yeah. And I also just want to turn your attention there. You got Lola ambassador Johnny Herbert there speaking to Otmar Safnauer, the former Alpine and Racing Point team principal. Cheeky little. Wonder what they're having a chinwag about, but nice to see Otmar here as well. Maserati. What have I got on Maserati? We spoke to Jake. You can watch that. You can watch that on our YouTube channel. As always, all our driver pen interviews go on our YouTube channel, so go and click on that. It's been an inconsistent season, I think, from both these guys. Obviously, Stoff got that win in Tokyo, which is fantastic for him and the team. But it's been about putting the tyres in the range, and that's where Maserati have fallen foul this season. Is getting the tyres in the range, getting them in the range for qualifying, and qualifying, even though Berlin qualifying did not matter whatsoever, meant that they've struggled over the course here. Hughesy's done some good drives. I know he had a couple of fourths, I think, in Shanghai and Jeddah, but yeah, the highlight for their season obviously being Stoff's win in Tokyo. And we come to, I'm going to do 2 more of these, so it's not for the final time just yet. McLaren. Taylor Barnard this weekend, like, he's been phenomenal as a rookie this year. We praised Jake Hughes in this team a few years ago for being such a fantastic rookie, and this guy, super talented. He could be the vice champion by the end of the weekend in his first season in the sport. And a lot of the credit he put in the press conference today is to Sam Bird, who has helped him in the areas that he's struggled with as a driver, which includes talking to us like the media. I mean, we aren't the easiest. Some people do the tough questions. I don't, but some of us do. But yeah, Sam Bird, he's been in Formula E since the very start. He missed 2 races in Seoul in season 8 after he did his hand here. But this, we believe, might be it for the Brits. I'm hoping this isn't the end of Sam Bird. But yeah, I'm sure he will be here, there, and everywhere because he is one of the stalwarts of Formula E, and so yeah, I hope we get to see him again. So now we've got to sort of pick the pace up a bit because this is where, if you've seen London the last few years, this is where the top 3 pull in at the end of the race and then head up to the podium, which will be up there, which is very exciting. But I'm going to use this little gap to push the fact that we've got a meetup on Sunday 11:30 by the Costa Coffee. There's a Porsche with flowers on it. That's where the meetup's happening. So I'm going to push that now, and hopefully that don't get cut. Right, let's move on to Envision. Now this is a team that's had a mini resurgence this year. Obviously Monaco was the high point for them with Seb Buemi's win. As for this side of the garage, I mean, I spent a very short time with them in a lift today, and it was awkward to say the least. I mean, I'm an awkward person in general, but I didn't really know what to say to them. And what we got out of Robin Frines is, let's get this season in the rearview mirror. And when asked about his highlights, he responded, no highlights. So this sums up his year. But not where they want to be. They were obviously the team's champions a couple of seasons ago. They've sort of come back from where they were, but yeah, I think they might be a little bit further down in the pit lane next year. Andretti, and this is another team that we didn't really get much for, and I had to run around everyone to, does anyone speak to Andretti? I did find out something about Nico Muller, and that is that he's refusing to tell us anything about where he's going. Yeah, you can tell that I'm a little bit rusty. But yeah, Nico's holding his cards very close to his chest, but he has also said he would like to do something else, whether that's stay in this paddock and go off and do something like WEC as well. Obviously, he used to race for Peugeot in World Endurance. However, since he became a Porsche factory driver, that's not really a thing. But yeah, these guys, I think they've had very even seasons. Nico had a podium in Jakarta that was taken off him afterwards. But yeah, no, it was yeah, they've had a somewhat all right season. Home race for Jake, and he's very good round here, so we'll have to see what happens tomorrow, which means that we move on to Nissan. And Ollie Rowland in the press conference, relieved that he can drive a little bit freely now. He doesn't have the weight of the Drivers' Championship on him. However, these guys have still got a race to win. They've got the manufacturers and the Teams Championship to fight with Porsche, which is a little bit further up, and we'll get onto them a little bit later on. And Roland actually revealed, and you can, like I said, you can watch this on our channel, all our driver interviews on our channel. Roland made a very interesting point, which is that he's had one of his powertrains that's slightly dodgy for this season, so he's had to be very careful with the other ones. And now he feels like now the championship's over, he can let loose a little bit more. So if we've had a restrained Oliver Rowland for the most part of this season, what is he going to be like this weekend? On the other side of the garage, Norman Natto, he says that we should probably hear about his future in the next couple of weeks, but signs that we've heard like this weekend sound like he might have just done enough to retain that seat, which is interesting. Like, I love Norman, lovely bloke, but when you've got the world champion, like it's the first time that the World Championship hasn't come round to the final location. It was one with 3 races to go back in season 6, but that was the 6 races in 9 days, so it was still one in Berlin. But yeah, Norman Natto might have just done enough to redeem himself. DS Penske, Jev, happy with the season and feels like he was unlucky at times, and so potentially could have done more, but happy with like where the car has come from to where it is now, and he has said, don't worry, he'll be in the paddock next year. Where? We think potentially MSG, because that will be the other Stellantis team if the Barnard rumours are to be confirmed. But yeah, things overtaking here will be difficult. It traditionally is here, but with the new attack mode, we could see a half-decent race on Saturday and Sunday. Right, Porsche, we're nearly there. My voice is going. Clear targets for the team this weekend. They have got to seal the manufacturers and the team's championship. DaCosta was talking about potentially being a little bit cautious to make sure that they bring it home. But, and when quizzed on where he's going to be next year, he was tight-lipped. He said that he'll be here, but... he's confident of being here, but yeah, we'll see. Which means that we come to the end of the pit lane. Thank God for my voice, because it's going. Cassidy, we were able to chat to him. He's proud of what he's achieved here. Obviously, it was confirmed earlier this week that he is officially leaving. Nice to see the Kiwi on top of Mitch Evans' car. I don't know where it is on Cass's car, but yeah. And the thing is, Cass has actually had a fairly decent season. Because if you think about it, he had that horrible run. He didn't score points until Jeddah 2. And then he could be vice champion this weekend. That's how strong his second half of the year has been. But we'll have to see. Right. And obviously, James Barclay is leaving the squad this weekend after 10 years at the helm. He's going over to McLaren's Wake project and got a nice little round of applause in the press conference earlier. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there because my voice is going to go. So we will have more over the course of the weekend. So we'll have another Picko's Pitwalk tomorrow, another one on Sunday. And so, yeah, we've got loads of content to bring you this weekend on Formula E Zone. So we shall see you then. Bye-bye.